I got a haircut. Guys, all anybody talks about nowadays is AI, and I am sick of it. I mean, every company's pushing AI so hard. I can't send a message on Facebook anymore without its dumbass meta AI asking me if I want to make my message funnier. No thanks, Mark Zuckerberg, I'm already hilarious. That's why I have the most subscribers on YouTube. Besides, I don't need Facebook's algorithm taking all my information more than it already does. Like sometimes I'll just try to message my wife, hey, you know, we want to have something for dinner tonight? What do you want for dinner? And then I'll be like, oh, make your message funnier, or make it longer. It's like, why would I ever need that? And then I'll send it and I'll just look like an idiot because, you know, an AI basically wrote it for me. We don't need an AI for every social media platform. Once ChatGPT came out, it's like every company decided we need our own version of that. No, you don't. I don't need Spotify's AI algorithm to make me a playlist of songs. No thanks, I'll keep listening to the same 5 songs over and over again like I've been doing for years. I think the first one to do it was Snapchat with its little AI guy that you can have. He just pops up every time you want to talk to your friends. Instead, it's this guy, and I made him as ugly as possible because I hate him, and I tell him every single day that I hate him. And I wish he would go away. Because guess what? You can't get rid of that chatbot unless you pay. That's right. They know how bad their little AI is. They know it's so bad that people will pay to actually not have to use it. Oh wow, airlines are using AI now. Air Canada has an AI chatbot you can ask questions. So you can say like, oh, you know, ask it about flight information or ticket discounts and stuff like that. That's great. Oh, what's that? They're getting sued because their shitty AI gave customers the wrong information? Really? Good. It's gotten to the point where they're putting AI in appliances now. Like Samsung's fridges now have AI Family Hub Plus. What the hell does that even mean? Okay, so, oh wow, so you put your food in the fridge and it has cameras on it, so it'll scan your food and it'll tell you what you put in the fridge. I mean, how else would I know that I have grapes in my fridge, you know? What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to walk all the way over to the fridge, open the door, look inside. Yeah, right. That takes hours. Who's got the time? Besides, why would you want to do all that work when you just pay an extra $1,000 more than the price of a normal fridge? And just have your fridge tell you what you just put inside of it, so you don't have to look. AI fridge, get the hell out of here. This is something I went through just like a month ago when my 25-year-old fridge decided to stop working, and I had to do a bunch of research to get a new one. And oh my god, the amount of stupid, useless features they add into these appliances nowadays is astounding. I don't need to be able to doom scroll Instagram on my fridge. I don't need like an iPad on my fridge for that. I don't need my fridge to tell me if it's sunny or rainy outside. That's what I have windows for. I don't need to look at pictures of babies on my fridge. I don't know why that's a feature, but for some reason there's a baby picture feature on these fridges. You know what I need my fridge to do? Keep my food cold. That's it. So I bought a normal ass fridge for $900. It's like a quarter of the cost of these other fridges. No bullshit, no bells and whistles, no Netflix, no touchscreen, no built-in speakers or AI cameras. It can't brew me a cappuccino or sing me happy birthday. It's not going to tell me if my blood sugar's low. It's not going to tell me about what cycle the moon is in or how fast the earth is spinning or how the stock market is doing today. It just keeps my damn food cold. And it does a pretty good job. And you know what the funniest part of that is? Those Samsung fridges with the fancy touchscreen and all the AI features are constantly ranked as the worst fridges you can possibly own. They break down all the time and are harder to get fixed. You know why? Because as it turns out, the more dumbass features you add to an appliance, the more things there are that can go wrong. To change the temperature setting in a Samsung smart fridge, you have to navigate through the touchscreen menu, find the temperature app or whatever it is, and then tap the little up and down buttons to choose the temperature that you want, which then tells the fridge's computer to cool down or heat up the internal components somehow. You know how I adjust the temperature in my not smart fridge? I turn the knob. That's it. No computer, no f***ing around with a touchscreen. I turn the knob and bam, it controls how much cold air comes in from the freezer. Now, which one of those two do you think is more likely to go wrong and break down? The one with the computer and touchscreen that needs to be connected to Wi-Fi to work, or the one that's purely mechanical? But enough about appliances. How about other things? Like, what about a toothbrush with AI? Yeah, seriously, what does that mean? What exactly does a toothbrush with AI do differently than a normal toothbrush? I don't know, but it probably costs 10 times as much. I mean, at least if AI turns evil and starts going against humans, this one can't really do anything to hurt us. I mean, it's a toothbrush. What's it gonna do, like brush your teeth harder? They're also adding AI now to like every single phone. Samsung, Google, Apple, they're all adding their crappy own AIs to everybody's phones. iPhones have a new feature, for instance, where they'll summarize the text messages that you receive. Here's what that looks like. So here's a message from a person and AI summarized it. Maddie, no longer in a relationship, wants belongings from the apartment. This person got broken up with via text and the AI summarized it. That's brutal. I mean, it's bad enough getting broken up with through text, but imagine having the AI tell you that. I mean, how lazy are we getting as people that we can't even just read text messages anymore? We have to have the AI summarize it for us. Are we really saving that much time? Are people getting text messages that are longer than a paragraph? Most of the texts I receive are like a sentence long at most. Most people don't text more than like 10 words at a time. Are we really saving a lot of time with this feature? No, of course not. That's not the point. The point is that now your phone can read all your text messages under the guise of helping you with AI, and they can collect all that sweet, sweet personal data that they love to sell. That's the truth behind all of this, honestly, all this AI stuff. It's not about saving time. It's about making you, the consumer, more of a profitable product for the company. But let's step away from the AI stuff because it's getting a little depressing. Let's talk about just the smart products in general, like I was talking about, the fridge and all that. Everything has to be smart now for some reason. Why would you want to pay $40 for just a normal toaster that just, toasts bread when you can pay over $700 on Amazon for a smart toaster? That's right, a smart toaster. It has a touch screen, of course, and all you do is you press the button and it tells you like bagel or toast or whatever, and it'll come out perfect every time. Except, if the touchscreen stops working, in which case you can't use the toaster at all, which people in the reviews say happens. Touchscreen stopped working after 8 months, useless without that, can't use it anymore. And here's a video of somebody trying to use the touchscreen, but it's not working, so they cannot use their toaster anymore. You know what doesn't have that problem? My normal ass toaster. I never had the touchscreen on it break because it doesn't have one. I don't see the point of this. Why are we trying to reinvent the wheel? If it's not broken, don't fix it. The toasters don't need to be smart. They're inherently dumb. It's an inherently dumb machine. You push the button, it gets hot, and then you have toast. It doesn't need to tell you the time or play music or have a touchscreen. It just needs to make toast. Just let it be dumb and happy. Why do we have to make it smart? Big appliances are no better. I mean, I already talked about fridges, but how about stoves? Yeah, now stoves need Wi-Fi to work, apparently. Here's a guy whose oven won't turn on because it can't connect to the Wi-Fi. How would you like to be hungry trying to make dinner for your family and you can't because the stove needs to have a firmware update first? I know I would love that. Smart ovens require a Wi-Fi connection for the best experience. Please collect now to unlock the latest features and receive important software updates. I think the only thing worse than that would be if your car wouldn't start because it needed to have an update. That happens. Yeah, that does happen, yes. My car got bricked because a software update failed. Can't wait for my refrigerator to stop cooling one day. Yeah, no need to worry about buying gas anymore with these cars, but just make sure you're connected to Wi-Fi or you can't leave the driveway. Software update required, unable to start car. I mean, I don't want to go too deep into the whole smart car topic because Drew Gooden already made a really good video on the subject, but I will say that I really don't like all of these cars having touchscreens that take up like a quarter of the dash. We tell people not to text and drive because it's dangerous and distracting, but then we take away every simple little button and knob on the dash and put it all into a giant iPad that you have no choice but to look at if you want to do simple things like change the radio station or put the AC on. I think as a society we got too in love with the idea of everything being on a touchscreen to the point where we need this giant tablet in our car just to do the most basic shit. Like, I don't want to have to go through a touchscreen menu and press a bunch of buttons just to open the freaking glove box. That's not making anybody's life better. Let's be honest. I mean, what happens if you get in an accident and the touchscreen gets damaged? Well, oops, I guess you can't get your insurance papers that are in the glove box because there's no physical handle to open it. You need the touchscreen. It's also just not very safe. I mean, imagine how much longer it takes to do something simple while you're driving on a touchscreen. Like, let's say you want to change the air conditioning settings in your car. On a touchscreen, there's no physical feedback for you to know what you're pressing. So you need to look at the screen. You can't not. Me personally, I drive a 2009 Hyundai Accent. It's a total jalopy piece of crap rust bucket, but it is the simplest thing in the world for me to change the station or turn the AC on. I don't need to look away from the road for even a second because I can physically feel the buttons. Whereas on a touchscreen, like in a Tesla or any new car, really, you have no choice but to look away from the road because you can't physically know what you're pressing without looking. And I'm not just making this up. There was a study that found that on older cars, it took drivers about 10 seconds to do a bunch of simple tasks like I said, change the radio station, etc. Whereas for newer cars that have the built-in touchscreens, it took drivers up to 4 times longer to do the exact same thing. In a BMW iX, for instance, which wasn't even the worst one on the test, it took 30.4 seconds. And keep in mind, this was while the car was going 110 kilometers an hour, which means that the car traveled almost a kilometer or about half a mile at highway speed while the driver was not looking at the road. Imagine how dangerous that is. Next time you're on the highway, look around at all the cars that are going over 100 kilometers an hour, and then realize that a bunch of the people driving them are not even looking at the road because they're busy looking away to change the song on Spotify on a giant tablet that takes up a quarter of the dash. Like, can we just go back to having buttons, man? What was the problem? There was no issue with just having buttons. It was so much easier. But no, it's so much cheaper for these car manufacturers to put everything in a touchscreen than it is to manufacture buttons and dials, which is probably why it's going to stay this way. It's not about convenience, it's about how expensive it is to make the cars and profits and all that. All that to say is just, I think we're going in the wrong direction with smart products. I don't want to sound like a boomer yelling at clouds or whatever, but I don't think that everything needs a touchscreen and to be connected to Wi-Fi. Like, how long until they invent a toilet that has AI built into it and it'll analyze your poop and tell you like if you need more fiber in your diet and stuff like that? Instead of ChatGPT, they'll call it crap poo poo pee. Oh, wow, thank you. Thank you so much. It's not a joke. It exists. There's a smart toilet. Yeah, we've gone too far. We're doomed. Thanks for watching this video. I know it's a bit different, not as jokey. I just kind of wanted to rant a little bit. If you're looking for something more lighthearted that you can actually laugh at, check out this video where my friend and I compete to guess video games based off of just one funny review. It's a hoot and a holler, and it's a good time. My name is Wolfgang. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, and make sure to go get yourself an AI pencil that screams whenever you sharpen it. Okay, bye.